20d20s in my dice bag.
Today we're gonna play D&D. Well,
We're gonna play D&D?
we're not gonna. I got too excited.
Aw.
We're gonna talk about D&D. We're gonna talk about what it would be like to play D&D.
I would love to actually play D&D.
Maybe we should just play D&D.
Shut up! I'm embarrassed.
Oh my god, it was the funniest article I've ever read in my entire life.
I watched a couple of compilation videos on YouTube. I've got it all figured out.
You're listening to the No Big Banana Podcast.
Welcome back to the No Big Banana Podcast. My name is Charles.
My name is D&D Swag.
My name's Yahzick.
20d20s in my dice bag.
Oh my god!
Check it out on Yahzick Music.
Yeah, everybody already knows.
Yeah.
Trust me, bro.
Listen, man.
My reputation is
Precedes you.
so far in front
So
of my
far.
body.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I haven't seen it
I'm
in
like
years.
up here, and you're like down there.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
I
pretty
don't
much.
need your pity plug from you pleb.
Yeah.
Fuck
well,
you,
that's
Charles.
On my
that's-
own channel.
Yeah. Fuck you, Charles.
That's the thing, man. Like when I was.
Fuck DeSantis.
Here's
I'm
the
bringing
thing.
it back.
I saw when I was young. I saw my
When I was a
young.
young boy, my father took me into the city.
It's just awful.
What?
When I was younger.
Did your dad say into the city?
What?
I'm just.
No, I didn't get
I actually
taken
really
to the
like
Black
that song.
Parade.
I actually really like that song.
No, when I was younger,
No shame,
I was
never
going to
did.
say that I was very acquainted with my reputation. We were really close. And then as I got older, like through high school and stuff, like it got further ahead of me. I recognized that it was like I could still see it.
Okay.
Right, but like it was out there. I mean, and then a couple of years ago I lost sight of it, and so now it's just like
Gone.
I mean, random people just send
Yeah,
me
just fucking
messages and
random.
they're
They start
like,
foaming at
hey.
the mouth when they see me
Yeah,
walking
I don't
down
know
the
if you
street.
knew this, but like I work with people that are like super cool and shit, and you're not. So
Okay, so did you guys think of anything else that you'd like to contribute to the campaign? Probably
I've been
not.
trying to think of a character, but I'm not
I
quite
do
there
still
yet.
have that. I do still want to like flesh out Cadwallader,
Oh, yeah.
my barbarian Morlock.
I'm trying
Yeah.
to think of a character, but he would more fit in like a very specific area. I'm not sure if there's an area for him yet.
Of course there is.
I'm
Well,
having
yeah,
a-
yeah. There's an
yeah.
area for
I'm
him.
also having a hard
course.
time like not seeing characters and thinking of making them as D&D characters. Like whenever I watch anime, I'm like, oh, that'd be fun to play as a fucking D&D character, like Rack.
Oh. Well, yeah. Oh, yeah, dude.
I would love to make a Rack character.
You easily could.
Oh, it's no problem.
It's
Like a 6
somebody in the
intelligence.
Discord. Somebody in the Discord today was like asking about like
Plug in that Discord.
greenery and Ovex, and I was like, you could just add it in because it's 5 million square miles that
Yeah.
we've got to cover. So feel free. Although I think
You
I
put
am
in
gonna
a leopard trap. You just have a town full of lepers.
I think I am going to establish some sort of an early rule.
Make it like
which-
a little island off the side of the because you want to keep
Yeah.
those lepers out.
Well, I probably won't have to enforce the many rules about like until I actually get to like the real editing process of stuff. But I think an early rule that I want to establish is like you're responsible. If you're going to create a city, then you're responsible for it in the sense of like filling it with NPCs and stories. And
I think
the
that's
reason
a
I
really
want
cool
to
idea.
break it down on the Discord into like who does what. Like these people are the storytellers and these people are the weapons makers, and they all
I call those
collaborate.
on the clockwork city.
Yeah,
That's
you can
mine.
make it.
Yeah, that
But
one's
you're
mine.
responsible for it.
Oh hell yeah,
So I was thinking I actually found a picture that was like kind of representative of that.
yeah.
Yeah.
I have always, ever since I started playing Bloodborne, I've always wanted to make a campaign based around Bloodborne's setting.
Yeah.
That kind of like gothic Victorian style shit with like a blood church. Oh, dude, it's fucking
Yeah. You could make that you could just remake that town as the town.
as the Clockwork Town.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck it. I could just make
Clock's
clocks.
powered by blood.
Well, I mentioned earlier that like I never was really too into RPGs in which you assumed the role of an existing character.
Yeah.
I was always into shit that
Looking at you, Fallout 4.
Yeah, you would probably really
Fallout
enjoy
4.
the Souls games because that's the whole point. Is you are a nameless.
well, what I was gonna say is that's why I like D&D.
Yeah.
Is because it's the ultimate form of customization.
Yeah.
In the sense of just like, especially when you're doing world building, because it's literally just like make it up and put it in there.
Yeah.
That's what's going to be, I think, the most fun. So yeah, you could totally get away. I was actually thinking earlier today when I was thinking about the Clockwork Town for Maria.
Yeah.
You could just make the whole tower the town.
She's my baby girl. She's my favorite.
Because that's what like
I started
Cody,
drawing
like
her.
Cody did with the Capitol for Santher.
Yeah.
Just like the arena is the town. Like you
Yeah.
could just make the Clockwork Tower the town.
I did also have the idea. There might be a way to like kind of combine the two because I had the idea of like a Voodoo Colosseum type, like a Roman voodoo kind of culmination.
That'd be
Because I
cool.
thought it'd be a cool idea to have like the concept of like having to go through a trial to become an adult. I think is a really cool concept. So I thought it'd be even cooler if it was like all of the citizens once you reach a certain age have to be killed and then brought back. They're not actually like zombies or whatever per se,
Yeah,
but
they're
like,
reincarnated.
right.
essentially.
You have to go through death before you can become an adult.
It would be cool to do that, except like instead of always becoming an adult, it is reincarnation. You become what you embodied for that first 18
that could
years
work.
or X amount of years.
Straight up, like, because once you put on the idea of voodoo, or like you have a god that you make up for it, you can have that god do that.
Yeah.
I mean, you can do whatever the fuck you want, as long as like the traits or whatever of that character afterwards isn't like overpowered or too weak. As long as you balance it, I don't see why not.
Yeah.
So like if you have, because my idea was for the Voodoo Colosseum thing, I thought it would be cool to have like it was like a regular city or whatever, just like very prosperous in the middle of like a big forest. And then this guy shows up and he's like really into the idea of like living forever and becoming like ascending to godhood essentially. So once he figures out the trick to kind of like prolonging life, the whole society becomes built around this concept of like voodoo and reincarnation, but it's like a Roman Colosseum type. So like you have to fight for it. So you have to actually like earn it.
Right.
If you don't fight worthy or whatever, you don't actually get to come back or whatever. So it's a matter of like being chosen. Kind of like Sparta meets fucking voodoo.
Yeah.
The fucking the American Horror Story voodoo part mixed with that.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah, I'm about that, and that's Tomb Crest all over, bro.
yeah,
That's like what
that's kind of
is
when
all
I started
about.
thinking about it. Was when I was thinking about the different names. I was like, well, I have an idea for that one spot, that one town that can kind of fit anywhere. But when you started kind of giving me the ideas for the different continents, I was like, it kind of sounds like something that would be cool to have like a dude, because I think obviously this is down the line kind of shit, but like coming up with a whole pantheon of gods, new pantheon, like that plug, but yeah, like a pantheon of gods.
Yeah.
Because I thought about that initially because I want Hank Hardtank to have a very dismissive deity who has nobody else. So it's kind of like, this is the only one I've got.
Yeah. And then I also thought of like today I was thinking about a character of a guy who's like a dragon wrangler. He's like he like raises dragons.
Word.
And
How to train your dragon?
yeah, and maybe someone has stolen an egg.
That'd be cool.
Or 3.
And so you can go and get
Fuck
them.
And her name's fucking Khaleesi.
Yeah. You can
Oh
go
man,
and
you can make that dude fucking steal it shit.
You can go
Fuck
and
it.
get them, and if you can get them, then you can keep them if you want, or you can
Or
take
you
them
can
back
imagine
to
it
the
be
guy.
a turtle, and it can be the best turtle ever.
But if
like
you take them back
Maples.
to the guy,
syrup.
the guy gives you like cool bonuses. Like I was thinking, like talisman. You get like a +1 to your strength or something in this
You have
totem.
like a shard of the egg.
Yeah, or like not even like maybe even like a fucking claw.
That'd be cool.
But then, or you could just keep them and have dragons.
Is there a body of water?
Of course there is.
Of course, there's tons.
I want to do a Pandaria.
Oh, hey, go for it.
A giant turtle with a
Oh,
forest on
dude,
its
that'd
back.
be badass. That's just a giant turtle.
That
Like,
shit's parked outside of Tomb Crest.
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah, a giant
Which-
turtle
what
with a
show was
forest
it
on
that
its
had
back
that?
has wildlife all over it.
Which one was that? Was that fucking Avatar? Where there was like a giant turtle, and they didn't even realize it was a live turtle, and because like they were, I don't remember what it was.
I don't know.
It's actually one of the things in One Piece. There's a city that's on the back of a gigantic elephant that just walks in the ocean.
Yeah.
It's just constantly walking.
See, I want to
around.
think of something that's not Pandaria. I don't want to do a turtle, but I want to think of something like
I
that.
mean, you could even do like a giant snake.
Ooh, yeah.
Or a giant squid.
A giant
Oh,
snake,
dude, that's
man.
a giant squid or a giant. You
That
could have
just- like
you could
a
have
water
two
snake
different
that just
cities.
sits on the top
a
of
squid
it,
city
just
and
goes
a
down.
snake city, and they could
Yeah.
be constantly fighting. You would actually have to have a third one. That way, there'd be like the that way there would always be a conflict between the
Right.
3 of them. That'd be dope.
Yeah.
Like rock paper scissors, but turtle, squid, bear. I don't know.
Giant
Bear would just
bear.
win. I don't know, dude.
Turtle, squid, snake.
Water moccasin.
Yeah, bro. Water moccasins are
I
not
like
a
the
fucking
snake
joke,
idea.
bro.
That's cool because the city could be like made so that the buildings can move and rotate while the snake coils
like
down the water.
Absolutely.
They've had to design the buildings so that they can adjust.
You could even it could even be like they've started to build because obviously the snake's going. There's gonna if it's like swimming, then there's gonna be like calcium deposits and stuff. So like building out of what is growing on it. So it's like a symbiotic relationship.
Yeah. I like that idea a lot.
That's a super cool idea.
Or how about this, an underwater city, but that you live inside of a whale's mouth?
Yeah. So like
a whole
Adventures of Flapjack style?
Giant whale though, and it's an entire. It's not a huge city. It's a town.
I do.
Well,
you
could make it of small people. That's the thing.
That would be,
you could make it a halfling.
Yeah, they're all just like algae. I do think it would be cool to have a bunch of different animals represented. Like I don't know. Now that I say it, kind of sounds lame, but like almost like the Zodiac, like having one of each, just kind of swirling around. You could have one in the sky that they live on, like the back of a bird in the sky or whatever. That's constantly soaring.
That would be cool.
You know what I mean? So like you could have one for each.
One that makes the tunnels out of a giant mole. Like makes towns out of the tunnels that a giant mole makes underground.
And then if we're talking about deities, then people would obviously see these gigantic, monstrous creatures that help forge the world around them and are constantly improving and destroying the world around them as gods.
Yeah, and that would also play in really interestingly to your builder thing. Because aren't there animals that just build?
Yeah.
Like beavers?
Yeah, straight up, yeah.
That's true. Like if there
even
were,
like a sloth.
If there was like an animal totem of that religion, then their religion would be to build.
Yeah.
So that would totally explain that.
Yeah.
That would be cool. Dude, you could even have one of them be a phoenix, and then the phoenix is representative of the voodoo culture.
Yeah, I was actually thinking having a giant bird and then have, like, the clock shit happening on that bird.
Yeah.
Because I do want the idea of, like, that town to be, like, kind of shrouded in mystery. Like,
it's a phoenix,
people don't understand what they're doing or how they're doing it. Like, it's advanced technology to an extent.
Yeah.
But it's, like, that's part of the reason why I wanted to have Maria, because, like, anytime information gets leaked, she's the one that goes out and takes care of it, so that way the secrets stay within the city itself. So it's almost like people don't even know if it really exists or not.
Yeah,
that would be cool. Like there's a rumor that if you do this, you can find the bird as it's like just flying around the continents, like just throughout the world. There's a chance that if you're there at the right time or whatever, you can line it up for your own like storyline purposes or whatever. Right. But they can get to it.
You know, I love this idea now too. The more that I think about it, about like new gods, because that can kind of be the spark for it. And we could even have people, and they don't have to, but if they want to, sort of like how they did it with in Game of Thrones. One of the things that I didn't see enough of, and I wanted to see more of in Game of Thrones, was like individual prayers to the individual gods.
Yeah,
because a lot of it came down to just like
a lot of boobies.
This is somebody who like watched 15 minutes and was like, "Oh, this is just porn. I'm not watching this."
I actually didn't.
You haven't watched it at all? So you're talking with even less experience.
Talking about my ass, yeah, straight up.
Yeah. See, all it takes is for you to see the hound in his armor one time, and you're hooked.
The only thing I know of Game of Thrones is the South Park rendition of it. Wiener, 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 flappy wiener.
Oh, okay.
There's not even that much wiener in it, though. It's no different than any other HBO show.
But yeah, it's pretty
there
HBO.
Really isn't.
Anyway,
yeah.
I like that idea about the gods because we can put it on the players to like choose if they want to follow one of the gods in that world.
Yeah.
And
or make their own.
And that god grants them certain bonuses.
Yeah.
So like if you follow the Phoenix, like you get
like kind of like the what's that one that like orcs get where it's like if they go down to 0 hit points they come back up at 1.
I think it's Die Hard.
Yeah, something like that. But it could be something like that.
Is it Die Hard or
I think
it's
like,
Second Wind?
It's Die Hard 2.
No, I think it's not Fury of the Small. Which one is it? It's like cause now I'm mixing it up in my head with the one for Tieflings where it's like Hellish Rebuke, but it's like Fury or something. It has something to do with Fury, but it's like they get so angry that it might be a barbarian trait that I'm thinking of. But like maybe if you follow that cult, not that cult, but like if you follow that god, then you get anytime you fall down, like you would go to 0 hit points, you can go up to like 5 instead.
Yeah.
Once per day or something like that.
Yeah, it would. You know what it would be like more than anything in my head, and I liken a lot of stuff back to Oblivion because I'm not a very good visualizer, so having frame of reference helps me. But it's like the sign that you're born under in Oblivion.
Yeah.
It's like you get
in Fire Emblem,
like an ancestor's trait that you
that
get.
That one really just helped like
and
you associate with the character in it. I only played the one on GBA, but in Fire Emblem, you choose birth month.
Yeah, for sure. Like that's a cool thing to have.
Yeah.
Especially if it's all new stuff.
Yeah, I do think there's a level of uniqueness as well, where because I think and excuse me if I'm wrong, but I think a lot of the D&D campaigns don't really play with the gods as much as they should. It feels much more like
they're just there as stat boosters.
It's either there or it's like it's set up for you to fight something that's trying to break the system that's in place.
Yeah.
Right?
That's another difference with 3.5, by the way, I'll just tell you, is that 3.5 was very detailed about deities. 3.5 had a chapter dedicated to deities.
I might be wrong. The only campaigns that I've seen are like Horde of the Dragon Queen, I forget the names of the other ones, but it's very limited. But I feel like a lot of the kind of idea is, you are the adventurers who are helping save the world, and there's like a mad god or a mad person that's trying to do something crazy that's going to upset the balance of the world. So that's, kind of the mission that you're on. There's not really like any kind of like, I think it would be cool to have a campaign where there's like, even though like, yes, technically that part ended, then the next part does affect what happens next. So like if you side with one deity and one of them dies, what then happens like to those people that pray to it, that live with it, that commune with it? What are they going to do next? And then they're going to like fight another one, or they're going to like start to siphon off to other groups, or there's going to be like, retribution and stuff. So like, I think it's a cool idea to have a concept where you could have like those little quests that build up to more of like the max level.
Yes.
And then actually having something that they can play through the results of what they've chosen to do.
Yeah.
So like, especially on a grand scale with like something that would literally change the not just the harmony of it, but like the actual geography of the place itself. And
I've always been like into like, I guess you would call it multitheism. I've always been attracted to the idea of multiple gods. Polytheism, thank you.
Agnosticism?
Well, no, just because I guess I've always
I get
it's always piqued my interest. Like I was raised with the idea of one Christian God.
Yeah, it's the difference between Christianity and Greek.
I was always interested in like what the Norse did and what the Greeks and what the Native Americans did. I was like, well, if we're going to say that there's a person that's cosmic and bigger and better than us and more powerful and it's doing shit, it seems to me that it would make more sense to have multiple people covering multiple shit instead of just like one being that just does it all somehow.
Yeah, right.
It makes more sense to me that it's like, well, this is the god of the sea.
Right.
He all he takes care of is the ocean, baby. Right. But he's got that shit on lock, and it's chilling. Like that makes more sense because
this one's the god of wine.
Right. Yeah. This guy's wasted.
I've always thought it more interesting, like the idea that all religions have a sliver of the truth.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
It's like with politics. Like everybody's right.
Straight up.
It's just the real right is just the way that you look at it.
And so it's like, and then I'm very fond of the idea, like, yes, if you were born in America, you were going to most likely be a Christian. If you were born in Greece, you would most likely be praying to Zeus.
Right.
If you were born, it's just a matter of circumstance of birth and timing. It doesn't really because the same concepts are there in every. It's the same with like the Bible itself, dude. Like all of it, you can trace it back to like Egyptian. Like there's even like the sun is the son of God. Like Ra is literally the son of God, and it's like they were born under like a virgin birth. There were 3 wise men. Like there are a lot of parallels in a lot of different religions because I think again.
Drew inspiration
it just depends on it just depends on the way that you look at it, but everyone's got part of it right, so I don't know.
But that's what's so
they
cool.
all have
I
positive
think about
teachings.
Yeah, exactly. There's always something that you can gain something positive or something negative from all of them.
Yeah.
And by the way, speaking of positive and negative, I'm going to be implementing that shit on a lot of my stuff.
Fucking Magnus, how do they work, bro?
I'm tired of all of this like wimpy ass like, oh, well, I got 2 + 2 strength and +2 whiz. Like, oh, really? What did you exchange for that? Oh, nothing? I thought of it? No. That shit didn't happen in here. With my gods, let me tell you, if you get a badass fucking attribute, you got to pay for it somehow.
Yeah. That's actually like with Cadwallader. Like,
Yes.
I really like the idea of having a barbarian that is so... Because, like, I don't want him to be stupid, but I want him to be so invested in being the strongest. Like, that's almost like his...
Like Rack?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, and I had been thinking about this before I started watching Tower of God. But
Rack from Tower of God, by the way. Anybody that likes anime that's
fucking beautiful.
Anybody that's not watching that, you need to watch it.
Dude, it's so goddamn pretty to look
great.
at.
It's great.
But no, like, but so actually, I think the one that I got more inspiration from was Zoro from One Piece, because that's his singular goal, is to become the world's strongest.
Oh, yeah.
The world's strongest swordsman. And so, like, for Cadwallader, I wanted to be like, he went so far as to make a pact with, like, a demon or a god to get even more power, to become even stronger. Like, he doesn't care about the consequences. He doesn't care about, like, his soul being taken after he dies or whatever. His sole interest is proving his strength. He, like eventually, like, I think the concept would be, like, he would eventually want to kill a god.
Right.
That would be, like, his ultimate... that would be his climax of his life.
Okay.
But no, but for real. So, like, I like the idea of even having, like, having the main ones, but also having, like, kind of, like, the sub tier, like, the lower pantheon gods as well.
Yeah.
Now that I'm thinking about it, especially with the idea of, like, those animals kind of being representative of the deities themselves and being a tangible existence in the world, I think it would actually help a lot to have those kind of scripted out, to then help build, like, okay, well, then why is this city like this? Why is that like that?
Oh, yeah.
Why aren't people fucking that bell?
Alrighty.
What bell?
You know what? I'm not even going to do it this time.
World building talk is always fun. And if you want to submit stuff for us to talk about, oh my gosh, I did it again. I have to apologize preemptively to Artsy, because for the second time since I said I was going to talk about his character that he set, I haven't.
Oh, shit.
I forgot. Oh my god. I will do it next time. Sorry about that, dude. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at NoBigBanana, and send us any stuff that you want to. Be
That was a lot of information.
Content
I should probably have been paying attention.
or cool stuff to nobigbanana@gmail.com.
Follow us on Instagram.
We'll read it at some point.
Fucking do it.
I'll do my best to read it. And then we'll just continue to build this beautiful world together. I'm having fun already. There's a bunch of people in the Discord server. It's popping, bro. We're gonna have a fun time.
Fun time.
I think
Fuck that
Justin
bell.
had a stroke.
I did.